It's pre-apocalyptic times, and there's a new master in town, y'all. It's called China. Hey, it's crystal clear. You're listening to More Morgellons, and you're probably thinking to yourself, I thought this was a show about Morgellons. When did this become some right-wing, racist, conspiracy theory show about COVID-19 being a bioweapon designed by China? When? Season 5. This episode. Not really. I'm not racist. I'm not right-wing. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am so baffled by people continuing to treat this idea as though it is a conspiracy theory. There is no more evidence to support the theory that it arose naturally from a bat being transmitted zoonotically through animal X that has still not been identified, right? They've sequenced like 80,000 animals or something like that, and trying to find this whatever mystery animal was that passed it from a bat to a human. Still looking. And, you know, the Biden administration did just recently complete its investigation into the origins of the coronavirus, and they said we can't take the lab leak theory off the table. So it's not a conspiracy theory. To take it one step further, acknowledge that China has the motive and the means and is run by a stupid psycho dictator. If COVID-19 was a genetically engineered and is still being engineered perhaps virus made in a lab in Wuhan or elsewhere in China or outside of China, because we know that BGI Group, Beijing Genomics Institute, developed outposts around the world, set up shop, selling its nifty kits to 52 countries, and collected and are still collecting the data of millions, I believe 8 million women around the globe. Oh yeah, pregnant women, and I guess therefore their fetuses, 2 for the price of 1. Nifty. Running this DNA through their supercomputer, looking for the DNA blueprint, fingerprint of mental illness. What genetically makes you a Tibetan, a Uyghur? Remember those people they're ethnically cleansing? Yeah. So the guys behind that whole campaign, the Chinese Communist Party, and the pseudo-privately held group, BGI Group, have jointly published papers about their research into viruses, respiratory pathogens specifically, and our intelligence agencies have confirmed that Chinese-made COVID test kits and swabs were used to collect DNA, genetic information on Americans. That's not a conspiracy theory, that's a news release. But let's talk about the numbers. This is what I want to talk about. Use the web browser of your choice to look up the hot map of coronaviruses around the globe. What do you see? I see a big red hot spot all over America, and for that matter, all of the Americas. Red hot coming in, unfortunately, at number 2 to America is India. Interestingly enough, Pakistan is just a little pink, while India is red hot. You guys starting to see what I'm talking about? China's investing in manipulating the weather. Since December 2020, they've been investing more and expanding this experimental project that has them seeding clouds and causing rain over a landmass the size of about India. Flooding anyone? I know we are. Europe? Who else is getting a lot of rain? Go look at the cases on a timeline. New York Times has a good graph, but there may be other publications better. There's these 2 flat lines at the bottom. China and the continent has invested heavily in Africa. 2 basically flat lines at the bottom for the most part. The question of the origin of this pandemic, understanding where it came from, how this all got started, is an important question to answer definitively, because we need to know to stop the next pandemic. We're in pre-apocalyptic times. So we gotta really get engaged here and figure out why we have not definitively concluded any investigation that determined the origins of the coronavirus. Or as the Chinese say, a superbug killed all white people. I call it the mystery virus. That's what I have a mystery disease too. It's called Morgellons. Still sucks. Still got it. My lip's falling off. I don't know what's happening with your Morgellons, but so far I still got the Morgellons. My hair is alive. HSV, yep, that'd be a good question to add. Whether people had exposures to certain environmental conditions, soils. Anybody who wants to provide their information and partner up with us figuring out the fucking Morgellons in an unbiased manner, having fun as a community, but also pitch in, put your data in if you haven't already. Morgellon people. I want to know more about that result. 22% of Morgies haven't had or having cancer at some point in their lives. General population, the rate right now is 4%. We got to start somewhere. These are important questions. This is a weird mystery illness. Some people think it's a bioweapon. I've never really taken that seriously, but I am starting to take seriously the idea that COVID is. And what can you or I do about it? Fuck if I know.